The following is produced by 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content.
From caring for our tiny infants to protecting them as toddlers to saying goodbye to our young adults, every phase of parenting has its special challenges. Sometimes it seems like the demands of early childhood will never end. And then, all of a sudden, we're faced with sending our kids out into the world. Today, we'll talk about the importance of family photos for building your child's self-esteem and the value of good nutrition and germ control for promoting good health. We'll take a look at important safety lessons for kids regarding firearms, and we'll find out about how credit cards and phone cards can make your life easier and help those new adults to phone home. Today on Parenting in the 90s and Beyond. Hi, I'm Kim Alexis. Today we'll take a look at some of the issues that parents are facing and ways to make the job a little easier. One of the hardest parts of being a parent is letting go. And as anyone who's been through it knows, saying goodbye when your kids are setting out on their own is tough. However, with some new innovations, saying goodbye doesn't have to be a stressful experience.
Saying goodbye to your kids is never easy. Whether it's their first day at school, their freshman year at college, or even their first job in a different state, emotions are mixed.
As parents, we're proud that we've raised productive, independent kids. But at the same time, we're feeling sad, perhaps even a bit nervous that our babies are growing up and leaving the nest. Questions start popping into our heads. Will they be okay? Will they eat properly? Who's going to do their laundry?
It may be a little easier sending your child off to camp for the summer when you know there will be dependable counselors you can rely on. But for those parents who still have to deal with seeing their children leave for college or for a new job, there are some things you can do to put your minds at ease.
Well, parents need to learn to relax and pursue their own goals. They need to realize that when children leave home, it's not the end of everything, but it's the beginning of something new. This empty nest syndrome that implies that when children leave home that the parents' job and their work is done really isn't true.
No, she was excited about going, and I just wanted to make sure that she kept in touch, that she was, going to give us a call and let us know how things were going to happen, how things were going on in her life, and I just wanted to make sure that I still had a little bit of a string that I was holding on to, that she wasn't going to let go.
When a child leaves home, the separation anxiety can be tremendous. One of the best ways is to make the separation shorter, to stay in touch, to contact the person, let them know you're still there.
Of course, picking up the phone and calling your kids, or having them call you, can also help relieve some of the stress that you may be feeling when your kids are leaving home. Friendly phone calls between family members may indeed be the answer to alleviating separation anxiety. However, that stress may rear its ugly head in another form when you get those first long-distance phone bills.
One way to avoid some of those bills and still keep in touch with your kids is by giving them a prepaid phone card, like the MCI Prepaid Social Expressions Calling Card. What makes this card so special is that the person who buys it can record a personal greeting and then send the card, message, and 20 minutes of prepaid phone time to a friend, child, or loved one who can use the card to call anywhere within the United States.
Parents can send their kids off to school or that new job knowing they'll be able to keep in touch without breaking the bank. And that goes for people on fixed incomes as well, especially grandparents. The cards are also great to use as gifts for birthdays and other special occasions.
Controlling the costs while staying in touch can help your children when leaving home, and that's a great feeling. After all, as parents, you'll have to save your energy for graduation day.
Teaching children lifelong habits of good nutrition can begin right in your kitchen. Find out how the ancient olive can help your kids eat right today for good health tomorrow. And learn about ways to make your credit card work for you. Coming up next on Parenting in the 90s and Beyond. As adults, we've all become aware of the importance of good nutrition. But as we all know, getting kids to eat right can be one of the toughest challenges on the agenda. And while we don't often think about heart disease, cholesterol levels, or blood pressure in kids, today's eating habits are closely linked to our children's lifelong health.
It used to be that a good diet meant eating from the 4 food groups and watching your calories. Well, these days, the way we look at the food pyramid is changing, and the type of fat we consume is just as important as an apple a day.
And as we learn more about saturated, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated fats, we've come to learn that not all oils are created alike. So while you may be serving more vegetables and salads, you need to be aware of what kinds of oils you use for cooking or dressing.
Sometimes understanding all the new information about fats and fat content in food can be a bit confusing. What it really boils down to is that saturated fats may contribute to high cholesterol and heart disease.
Printed research suggests that when substituted for saturated fats, monounsaturated fats may help lower blood cholesterol, fighting the bad LDL type and protecting the good HDL type. So how do you incorporate monounsaturated fats into your family's diet? Well, using olive oil is one of the best ways. Olive oil is higher in monounsaturated fat than any other vegetable oil, leading in at 77%. And now studies suggest that the Mediterranean diet, building on a food pyramid based on pasta, fruits, vegetables, legumes, olive oil, poultry and fish, is associated with the possibility of lower heart disease and lower blood pressure.
Global population studies that have been done recently have indicated a true link to lowering your incidence of heart disease, lowering your overall incidence of cancer, while at the same time increasing longevity by following this Mediterranean type diet.
Helping you to understand the Mediterranean diet, some olive oil companies like Bertolli USA Incorporated have developed handbooks to provide information on the diet and a series of meal planning recipes. And with recently developed olive oils, like Bertolli's Extra Light Taste olive oil, you can substitute olive oil for butter in your baking, keeping the sweets in and the saturated fats out.
So it's the 90s, and it's time to stop thinking that olive oil is just for salads. Take the ancient oil and make it part of your family's diet today.
When you're on vacation or at the mall, using a credit card can often make shopping more convenient. And thanks to computers, we can now use them in more places than ever before. As our next story shows us, making sure you're getting the most out of your credit cards may mean doing a little homework.
From dining out to quick cash at the ATM, many of us depend on our credit cards for quick and easy purchasing power.
While having credit can be a tremendous convenience, it can also get you into trouble if you're not careful. Before using your card, it's important to fully understand the commitment involved. How you handle your credit today could affect your credit history later on.
Mishandling credit today can certainly affect your future credit, and that's because you build a credit history when you use a credit card. So if you're planning on taking out a large loan in the future for a car or a house, you want to make sure that your credit history is as positive as possible.
With all of the credit choices out there, finding the credit card that works best for you may mean doing a little homework and taking time to read the fine print.
I think it's important for consumers to do their homework and compare different credit card offers because there are a multitude of credit card offers in the marketplace today.
On most credit cards, the annual percentage rate, or APR, will be the prime rate plus a fixed amount of percentage points determined by the credit card company. Not all credit cards are the same, so it's important to compare different offers.
It's also a good idea to take a close look at the card benefits. Some cards offer special value through bonus programs. For example, the Discover card offers up to 1% money back on qualified purchases paid yearly. Since the inception of the program, the Discover card has given card members over $1 billion in cashback bonus awards.
The card offers no annual fee and 24-hour customer service. Card members can access their account through the World Wide Web to review their current balance, available credit, as well as track purchases.
While computers have given us several new ways to use our credit cards, protecting the security of our cards is more important than ever. Here are a few reminders on how to protect your credit.
Each month, carefully review your statement for any purchases you did not make. Whenever possible, avoid giving out your account number over the phone. When using credit cards on the internet, look for sites that indicate secured transactions. You should also consider taking advantage of optional services, which offer card members a way to protect all of their credit, ATM, and debit cards.
It's important for consumers to put thought into a credit card purchase, just like they would a cash purchase, because credit cards are a spending tool. And that means that you really have to plan ahead and think about the fact that even though you're using plastic, you will eventually have to pay that bill, and the bill will come in the mail.
With our often busy schedules, credit cards have become a convenience many of us depend on. Taking the time to know what's in the cards may help us make smarter choices.
Every parent wants to know how to keep colds under control and germs from getting out of hand. Some quick answers for getting your kids to stay healthy by washing their hands. And a look at how to teach your kids about gun safety. Coming up next on Parenting in the 90s and Beyond. Germs, they're everywhere, and a favorite place for germs to travel is on hands. Bacteria, viruses, all those tiny one-celled organisms just hitching a ride on the hands of a child. But fortunately for us and our kids, hand washing is an incredibly effective way to kill germs.
Just one sneeze, just one touch. That's all it takes for kids to come in contact with germs. But just one hand washing can kill 99% of the germs on contact. So while maybe we've gotten our kids to cover their mouths when they sneeze or cough, we've got to be equally vigilant about getting them to wash their hands.
Wash your hands. That timeless phrase we've heard all our lives and said hundreds of times. But like much common wisdom, the expression takes on new meaning as research shows the effectiveness of hand washing in preventing illness. Sometimes the best way to help children understand the importance of hand washing is to give them a concrete example of how germs spread. If you don't mind dirtying up your kitchen a little, try this hands-on experiment with your kids. Explain how a child who sneezes gets invisible germs on their hands.
Now have that child dip their hands in flour and touch the table, the fridge, or other things in the kitchen. The flour sticks. Now have other kids touch the same areas and see how the flour now gets on their hands. And ask them what happens if one of those dirty hands goes in their mouth. So if they want to say hands off to germs, they have to wash.
Something that adults can do to help prevent children from getting frequent or recurrent colds, the most easy, simplest thing adults can do is hand washing. Study after study has shown that with proper hand washing, adults can prevent the spread of colds from one child to another.
Washing with an antibacterial soap that contains the active ingredient triclosan removes the dirt and kills germs. The triclosan stays on the skin, providing a long-lasting effect that helps keep bacteria reduced.
Some antibacterial soaps, like Liquid Dial for kids, are specially formulated for children's sensitive skin. One way to make it easy for kids to keep up with hand washing is to keep the antibacterial soap handy. By placing a bottle in every bathroom or in the kitchen, the soap stays right at hand. Colorful packaging and easy-to-use dispensers also help make hand washing fun and playful.
So the next time you see your kids with a full day of dirt on their hands, taking a ball from the dog's mouth, or coming in from a hard afternoon at the playground, remember, you've got the situation in hand. Faster than you can say wash up, you can wash away those germs with antibacterial soap.
Every day we try to protect our children from or teach them about potentially harmful situations, whether it's looking both ways when crossing the street or how to dial 911. The lessons of safety are part of our daily lives. As guns become more prevalent in our society, teaching our children about gun safety needs to be part of the guidance we provide for them.
Many common hazards exist right in our homes. Electricity, swimming pools, bathtubs, matches, and household chemicals are all part of our everyday lives. Traffic, Bicycle riding and rollerblading are potential hazards that may be right outside the front door. All of these can pose threats, some life-threatening, to our children. And while we constantly protect our very young ones from these dangers or teach our older children safe behavior, there is one area of safety that we often overlook. Federal officials estimate there are over 200 million firearms in the United States. That's 1 in every 2 homes. And whether or not you choose to have a firearm in your home, chances are good that your child could come in contact with one at some time. Helping children to stay safe should they encounter a firearm is like teaching them not to play with matches and to look both ways before crossing the street. Today, many firearms manufacturers, including companies like Glock Incorporated, are strongly committed to firearm safety.
Today in the United States, the best estimates are that there are at least 50% of our households contain at least one firearm. That's what makes teaching firearm safety to our children so important, because regardless of what your political opinion may be on the issue of private firearms ownership, we can't compromise our children's safety by failing to teach them firearm safety, because it is more likely than not that they will be in a home that contains a firearm.
Through informative websites, training facilities, and consumer literature, firearm safety is a key message. In addition, the National Rifle Association has developed educational programs, including the award-winning Eddie Eagle Gun Safety Program and accompanying web page at www.nra.org. They give parents resources and encourage them to talk honestly and openly with kids about firearms. Presenting straightforward and clear guidelines, the program encourages us to teach our children not to touch a firearm unless an adult is present. It also recommends that you teach your child the following rules should they encounter a firearm outside the home.
Stop! Don't touch! Leave the area! Tell a grown-up!
Stop and don't touch will prevent the natural impulse to touch a firearm. Leaving the area will separate them from the firearm, and telling an adult will provide supervision for the situation. While safety locks and proper firearm storage go a long way, it is our responsibility as parents to teach these basic safety rules to children should they encounter a firearm.
Stop, don't touch, leave the area, find an adult. They understand it and it works.
We all try to preserve the moment and get good pictures of family gatherings, sports events, or milestones like school graduations and birthdays. But did you know that more than just capturing these memories, you're helping children build self-esteem? The emotional value of photos, next on Parenting in the 90s and Beyond. From soccer games to graduations, family photos often capture our favorite moments. As our next story shows us, for kids, photos may do more than preserve the past. They may also help boost self-esteem.
Family albums. They often capture our most precious smiles and sometimes a few of life's more humorous moments. By helping us to mark important milestones in our lives, family photos may also give us a sense of family history. For children especially, they play an important role. Dr. David Krause is a family psychologist and a practitioner of phototherapy.
When children see family portraits, they see their family, they see their visual history, they see where they come from, and they have a sense of where they fit in.
Family photos may also help kids build a strong sense of connection and belonging.
Self-esteem really comes from feeling both loved and capable. And portraits of children that celebrate their accomplishments give them that sense of capability, that they have mastery at a certain age level of certain life skills.
For both convenience and quality, many parents choose to have their children photographed professionally. At Photography by J.C. Penney, photographers are trained to help kids feel special and capture their unique personality.
I know the kids love to go and get their pictures taken, and it just makes them feel so special when we bring them home and they get to pick out the frame that their picture goes in, and then we put it in a very special place in the house. And they look at it and go, "Hey Mom, that's me," and they just really like that.
When having a portrait taken, there are a few things parents can do to make portrait sitting a more positive experience. To capture that perfect expression,
Make sure your child is fed and well rested.
Select a sitting time that works for you and your family so you won't feel rushed. It's also a good idea to think about the type of portrait you want. Whether you want a formal or casual look may affect the type of apparel you choose. For family portraits, you may want to select at least one color in each outfit that is the same. Once you have completed the sitting and you're ready to display those unique smiles, be sure to save at least one portrait for your child, and don't forget to send one to Grandma and Grandpa.
The best place to display family portraits for children is in their bedroom, where they can see this image when they wake up in the morning or when they go to bed at night. What it does for them is allow them to see themselves as protected by adults, as part of a family, as someone who is loved and cared about.
Whether it's baby pictures, birthdays, or special occasions, portraits not only provide a yardstick for our lives, they also provide children with an important sense of belonging, offering a visual reminder of how special they are to their family and to the world around them.
Did you ever think that it was easier to be a parent in the good old days? That life was simpler when we were kids? Well, even though we live in a fast-changing world, it seems that every generation has its own set of challenges. And certainly with today's technology and access to information, we can get quick answers to new questions. I'm Kim Alexis. For more information about anything we covered in our show, visit our website at www.vstar.com and join us next time as we search for new answers to the questions of parenting in the 90s and beyond.
This has been a presentation of 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content.